All right, so for this video, this is stoichiometry worksheet 3 types. If you recall from the previous day or yesterday, you did mole to mole and mole to mass. Well, I'm going to go ahead and add a third one, which is a mass to mole. Remember, we have 4 types in the stoichiometry that we're going to cover. And so the only one we're missing is mass to mass, but that's not going to happen till Monday. So let's go ahead and start off with a mass to mole type of problem. And first thing is first, I want to show you how do you know that it's a mass to mole. Okay, just like we did in the previous video, this is 330 grams. So that's my given. Remember, grams is mass. So my given is mass. And what they want me to find is how many moles. So that's what I want to find. So again, this is a mass to mole problem. So then right away, that means I'll go to my foldable. I'll search up what the setup is. And it's going to look something like this. Okay, it says to, again, just like we did with the mole to mass, you're going to have the 6 little boxes. Okay, where the one under the given is always left blank. And so that's the first thing you're going to draw. Draw the little dimensional analysis chart. Okay, so these are the little boxes we're using, and I even went ahead and wrote down mass to mole. All right, so I start with my given. So in this case, it says 330 grams of sodium phosphate. Notice it doesn't give me the formula, but again, just like the previous assignment that we did, it's all going to be pointing. I look up sodium phosphate, it's pointing to this. So this is a formula for sodium phosphate. So I'm going to write down 330 grams of sodium phosphate. Okay, so here we are. And because this says grams of sodium phosphate, just like we did with all the other ones, whatever this unit and substance is, it right away carries over diagonally. So I know that this is going to be grams of sodium phosphate. Okay, anytime you see grams and you have to figure out what the number is, that should tell you that's a molar mass, the molar mass of that substance. So I'm going to find the molar mass of Na3PO4. And the other thing that I need to remind you is that anytime you do have grams as well, the other partner to it, whether it be top and bottom, is going to be 1 mole of that same substance. Okay, so if I go and I check it against my notes in the foldable, you're going to see that it'll say what I've been doing. Molar mass of A being our substance in our given, and 1 mole of A, again, being the same substance, which in our case is sodium phosphate. So let me go ahead and get the molar mass of sodium phosphate. Okay, so here we have the molar mass of sodium phosphate. So the 3 comes from the fact that there are 3 sodiums, 1 phosphorus, and 4 moles of oxygen. Don't forget that these numbers are the masses from the periodic table, and they're rounded to the nearest hundredth. So I go ahead and multiply 3 times 22.99, and maybe I should just show you really quick what I'm referring to. The masses on the periodic table. So here's my 22.99, which is why I have that number here. Okay, so multiply that, get this, 1 times 30.97, here you go, 4 times 16, there you go. So last step in molar mass is to add all the substances. So 163.94 grams per mole. And then from our problem here, 163.94. Okay, so we have 2 more boxes to fill. So remember, this cancels diagonally with this, and just like I did with my given, that should match. I can do that here. These 2 should match. So this is going to be moles of sodium phosphate. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and confirm on my setup. So there we go. We have a ratio step. Remember that a ratio step is a step in which we're using the coefficients. So it's going to be moles of A, which is a substance from the given, in this case sodium phosphate, and moles of B, which is a substance that we're trying to find, and in this case we're being asked to find calcium chloride. So this is going to be moles of the other substance being asked that they're asking us to find. So in this case, calcium chloride. And how do I know the formula for calcium chloride? Because again, this is indicated here and it's pointing at that. Okay, so just like we did before, we have a ratio step, moles and moles. That pound symbol that's again in the notes, that's going to be the coefficient for those substances. So calcium chloride, the coefficient is 3. So I'm going to go ahead and put the 3. And the sodium phosphate, the coefficient is 2. And that's where I put the 2. Okay, so I've pretty much completed the steps on the dimensional analysis chart. All I have to do is multiply. So once again, a reminder, if the numbers are all on the top and next to each other, you multiply them. So 3.30 times 1 times 3. If the numbers are side by side and on the bottom, you multiply those by each other. 163.94 times 2. So whatever answer you got from the top, you're going to divide by the answer you got from the bottom. And that's going to be your final answer. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so here we go. We have 3.02, and I can't leave it the way it is. I'm going to have to put the unit behind it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and see what canceled out. So here's moles with moles, and I'm left with moles of CaCl2. And if you look at the question, they're asking for moles of calcium chloride. Well, calcium chloride is CaCl2. So I'm going to put that right behind this number. Okay, so now the rest of them are either going to be mole to mole, mole to mass, or back to mass mole. So I'm not going to go over this on this tutorial since I did the previous video on mole mass and mole. If you want to go back to it and refer to it, feel free to do that just as a refresher. But keep in mind that you also have your foldable to guide you. Okay, so numbers 2, 3, and 4, and 5. That's all you guys. So that's where you go solo. Okay. How do I know that this was a mole to mole? Because my given is moles and they want me to find moles. How do I know that this is mole to mass? Because my given was in moles and they want me to find mass. Okay. Go ahead and complete that. Make sure that you turn it in, finished or not, before you leave.